Hello and welcome back to my aquaponics system. This one's going to be a lot about maintenance. One of the things I had to do was get me some salt, some water clarifier, and some prime. This prime right here is some awesome stuff. That is like a complete water treatment, fish protection that protects from these toxins, which you test for, which I have 0 ammonia right now. I just started the system, so no ammonia has been built up yet. So obviously there'd be no nitrates because there's no ammonia to break down to nitrates. These two in the middle are pH. Right now my pH is a little high, it's about 8. But anyways, you need this kind of stuff. Testing equipment to test. Most of the maintenance is in the beginning when you're establishing your nitrogen cycle. And over here, you look at the pond, you might not think it looks so good because you see all this algae. It's so green. But the thing is, the beneficial bacteria bloom in much the same way algae does. They start out waterborne. So by taking out the algae now, I'd be taking out my beneficial bacteria. A lot of people, that prime will protect the fish from the ammonia and stuff. I have 12 fish in here. There's 6 goldfish and 6 tilapia. They lasted 5 days without the prime, just by using the salt, baking soda, bringing the pH down before I left. When I left, the pH was 7.4. The pH is now back up to about 8. It started out near 9 something, 10. It was real high. So I brought the pH down. I'm going to need some more acid buffer. But those are the kind of things I need. The one thing I'm missing as far as maintenance goes that you'll need is the acid buffer. It's a cement pond, so I'm always bringing the pH down, which can be beneficial because it creates CO2, which should help my aquatic plants and that kind of stuff, as well as my other plants here. I don't know, I might get a stream bed to bring the pH up deliberately, so the knockdown process makes all that beneficial CO2 for the plants. And as far as this goes, I really had to do no maintenance to it. Unfortunately, the plants haven't grown much that they've been in here. They still seem to be alive and well and okay. I can see some iron deficiency on the plants, but actually these plants haven't been fed at all. I wasn't able to, the food, they didn't have it. They ordered it coming in Friday. I didn't get in from out of town till Saturday night. So anyways, this is not a bad sign, but I'm not going to dare clean this crap up right now. I am going to let it settle, stay down to the ground. I want to make it so you can see it real good and everything with the clarifiers. But I don't want to attack the algae, because if I do, I'll be attacking my beneficial bacteria. And that's the other bummer, that sometimes people, the ammonia gets high and they do this big water change and they dump all the beneficial bacteria that was starting to build up. See, unfortunately, it starts out as waterborne. It blooms, and that's this cloud. But even when I had fish tanks inside that had no algae, when you first start it up, there is a bloom right before you start to get the beneficial bacteria established in the biofilter. It always starts out in the water. So right now, there might not be any bacterial bloom. This might be all algae bloom. But the thing is, the bacteria will bloom the same way. So I have to first let it travel from that state of life to an established state on the media in the grow bin. Once it goes from waterborne to attached, and it's attached to the grow bin, then I can really clean the pond and make it look beautiful. But for right now, I'll get the cloudiness out. But that's all I can really do. I kind of got to leave the stuff in here. I want to make sure that this waterborne bacteria makes it to the grow media to be established. That's why you can't run UV lights when you first get your pond system started. You have to wait a good 6 to 8 weeks until your beneficial bacteria has established. So that's the trick. It's not just keeping the fish alive and the plants alive, but to keep that bacteria alive too. Dumping the water is killing off your bacteria. So instead of dumping the ammonia out, use that prime. The prime will stop the harmful effects of ammonia and not interfere with your nitrogen cycle. You won't have to do a water change. The water might be toxic, but the fish will be healthy. And then the beneficial bacteria will start breaking down those toxins, and before you know it, your nitrogen cycle will be completed. But anyways, that's the kind of maintenance you got to do. You got to watch the pH. You got to watch your toxins, your ammonia, your nitrite, which you can see nitrites on this chart blew up to 0. Ammonia 0. Okay, this is the kind of stuff you want to read after you're established too. Right now it's only been 5 days. Of course there's nothing. There hasn't the fish. There's only 12 of them in 900 gallons. So how much ammonia could have been built up? So waiting for the ammonia to build up. Once the ammonia starts, then the beneficial bacteria can break it down. So this is the high maintenance end, establishing your nitrogen cycle. Once that's done, you hardly have to do any of this. You'll find out your tests come out the same every day, and then all of a sudden you just don't bother testing anymore. Most of the maintenance is getting the system up and running. And that's all.